Are you ready to get your workout on? Oh, I see Karen is here. Hello. Are you ready to get your workout on? Hi, Kazi.
Hi, how you doing, love?
Good. How are you?
Not too
Hi.
bad.
Hi, ladies at SWAC. How are you today? We're going to shut down the comments so that we can focus. Okay, hello, YouTube. How are you today? We are ready to work. What are we doing today, Karen? I realized we haven't had one bit of a conversation.
Okay, so grab yourself some dumbbells.
Okay, I got those right here, ready. And they're green
Okay.
to match my outfit.
Okay, you're just hilarious.
You know, I like to be matching.
I'm going to use plates because I think
Okay.
we're going to do a bit of everything. We're going to do some legs and some arms.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to do some legs and some arms. I'm testing a theory of mine. I'm in shorts.
Okay.
With a knee brace on my bad knee because I want to see how my leg reacts now that I'm... Oh, Beth.
What? You can't...
Not flip-flops, lovely.
Okay, can I be barefoot or I have to get shoes?
No, you need to get shoes.
Oh. Okay, talk to the people.
Please don't wear flip-flops to do a workout. It's dangerous. And you wouldn't want to have that issue on your hands. Beth likes to do things sometimes barefoot, but because of lipedema and what we're putting on our feet with pressure, and those of us that have got lymphedema or other comorbidities, I would always suggest that you put on a pair of sensible shoes, like you have trainers on, something that is going to support the foot and the ankle. You're lifting weights. Remember, our bodies are heavier anyway, and we're dealing with a abnormal connective tissue cell in our bodies that doesn't react like normal cells do. So you need to protect yourself, which is why I protect myself with trainers because of what we're doing on the bottoms of our feet. I'm wearing shorts today because I want to see how my legs are going to react. So I've been doing a lot of treatment on my legs recently, and I want to see how my legs react with the brace on the knee, because things are moving in a different direction, and I think that's a good thing. So I thought, what better time than to test it in front of the audience? Okay, I've just realised I've got my music on.
I can't hear it.
Okay.
I don't know if Instagram will pick it up or not. The copyright issues are always possible.
Right, okay. In that case, I'll switch it off. I didn't even realise I had it on in the background. Okay, so I'm gonna... Yeah, I thought that was gonna happen. Let's try that. Okay. Right, Beth, dumbbells down, lovely.
Okay. Whoops.
Okay, so we're going to do some hip hinging. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Best slow it down. 6, 7.
And with a little bend in the knee, right?
Yeah, you can have a bend in the knee. But what you're looking for, if you've got your hands on your hips, and you can actually feel in your core and your glutes are doing the work, right? Yes. So you're hinging forward, but your core and your glutes are pulling you back, and then tipping you forward, and then pulling you back, right? So you're not using your legs. You're using what's in this area here able to pull that function. Okay. Perfect. We're going to do one of yours. We're going to go over. 1, 2, 3. Again, we're using the core to pull us backwards and forwards. The arm is just going with us. 5.
The arm is just to make
6,
us look like a ballerina.
7, 8.
It'd make me happy.
9, 10, 11, 12. We're going to switch up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Who's feeling the energy today? 7, 8, 9.
Throw up the hearts if you're energetic.
10, 11, 12. Perfect. You're going to roll the shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Oh, they sound terrible.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, shake out the legs. Okay, perfect. I'm going to use the plates like I've showed you before on here to do a squat because this is protecting my knee. Actually, what's quite interesting is most of my clients have switched to using plates because they've now realised that it's such a protection on the knees. Okay, so dumbbells down, my lovely.
Okay. But I'm going to get a plate then. One for each foot?
Yeah. Be careful of your... Is there a mat that you can put down?
No. Okay, keep telling us. Tell us.
Okay. Be careful. Well, just be careful doing that because you're on a slippery floor.
Yes.
I did that in clinic and
All right, we're good.
I went flying.
We're good. Okay.
Okay, so bring them quite close together because we're going to do a squat.
So just my heels are on the back.
Yeah, just your heels. So you can actually feel that you're tipping like forward. So when you're going down, you can actually get a better traction than you can when you're doing it without. Can you feel that? How does that feel?
I don't know. Can I go further than I usually do? Let's see.
Okay.
You tell me. You tell me if I look
Okay.
further.
Is that a normal or on the plates?
That's on the plate.
Okay, now do a normal one. Step back and do a normal one. Go back on the plate. Okay. Yeah, you're going further on the plates.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to go for 12. So
That's what
1.
we want, right?
Yep. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. And 12. Perfect.
And
On the next one we're going to do, we're going to go down, we're going to beat for 1, and we're going to come up. So we're going to go 1, beat, up.
Okay, and this is not giving my IT band the same type of pressure either, right?
Well, it shouldn't be. No, you should be more protected. You should be able to feel that in your IT.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So we're going to go 1, 2, and up. 1, 2, and up. Okay. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Perfect. How do you feel?
Good.
How does your IT back feel?
Good. Or
Sure?
yeah. Like it doesn't feel. It doesn't feel, so that's good.
Okay, so we're going to do one more round.
Okay. I'm gonna go this way now.
Okay. 1, 2,
Oh, we're still doing the bounce.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Perfect. And up.
I think I'm better without a bounce.
Do you want to grab a chair and a dumbbell?
Am I sitting in the chair?
On the chair beside you.
I'm using it to hold on?
Yeah. Okay. So grab a dumbbell. Put the dumbbell on your leg. Okay? Legs together. And we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, switch it up. I am now not going to balance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Switch it up. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Switch it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Perfect. Okay. Do you want a break or do you want to do one more set?
One more set.
Okay. So switching it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Switch it up. Last one. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Perfect. How do you feel?
Good. Heated.
Perfect. Okay, so we're going to switch to the arms.
Okay, good. Let me just see if there's a question here. How far can you push it before it's bad? Well, you should always do your range of motion, whatever is your range of motion, and then whatever, then each time you build upon that. That should be how you're always looking for your own progress, and you're always looking for your best. So whatever your best is that day, each day your best may change.
If your best is 5, your best is 5, because the next time your best will be 6, and so on. You do not have to do what we
do. Yes, thank you, Jay Tucker, for keeping everybody up to date. You're absolutely right. Okay, ready. Now, I've got, do I need 2 or 1?
1. Okay, starting on the right side.
I'm not putting
so we're going to go into a hammer curl.
I'm not putting my heels on the thing, right?
No.
Okay, I'm done with those?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good. So we're going to go into a hammer curl.
Okay.
And we're going to go straight up. We're going to come down. And we're going to go back down. Okay? So, 1, 2.
Wait, you know what? I'm going to do it
3.
seated. I'm going to do it seated so people can see that they can do it seated.
Okay, 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. 12. Perfect. Switch it over to the other side. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. If you're standing and you want to put a little bend in your knee, that's fine. 7. 8.
Remember, for those of us who are
9.
hypermobile, you have to make your adjustments
10.
accordingly as well.
11. 12. Switch it up. 1. 2. 3. 4. Oh, I like this momentum. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Remember, that's the sweet spot. 11.
Which is why we go to 12.
12. Switch it up. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6,
I'm trying to catch up.
7,
Okay, I caught up.
8, 9, 10,
Okay.
11, 12. Perfect. Switch it up. Okay. Last step. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Perfect. Last one. 1. Keep breathing. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, last push, 12. Perfect. Okay. So, this one, put it down for a second, roll your shoulders back because you're going to want to have this.
My neck and
For the
shoulders
next
are
one.
so creaky today.
Okay, so dumbbell in hand.
Yeah. Do I need to stand for this one?
You're going to hold your core. You can sit or stand. It's totally up to you.
Okay, let's see if I can sit. Let's try.
Okay. Okay, dumbbell in hand, hold your core. And we're going to hand out in front and we're going to take it down. Okay?
Okay, like this?
Yeah.
Like that?
But you're going to use your core. Right, okay, you're using your arms to make those moves.
Yeah.
So what we're doing is your core is really coming into place. So that needs to be a really slow, smooth move.
Okay.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, could you feel that all across your core? Hearts go up if you're doing it.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, right. We'll do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
I'm going to stand for the next one.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, I can really feel that. Really feel that. And I was going to do it with 10K. I'm not doing it with 10K. Okay, last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Perfect. If you can't feel those in your core, blimmin' hell. Okay, so we're going to go into triceps. So 1, 2, been told to keep my elbows close to my ears.
Mm-hmm.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and down. I'm going to have to rest before I do those other 2. Oh, feeling the sweat today, guys. Up in the weights.
That's excellent. Triceps, yes. Triceps are definitely getting stronger. I can actually, well, now, of course, now that I'm telling you, I can feel this tricep here. Underneath the lipedema. It's there.
Okay. Ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay.
So
One more set of those and we are done, guys.
One more set?
One more set and we're done.
Okay, are we doing it right now?
Yeah. Let's do it while we're hot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, oh my god, 10, 11, okay, and 12, right, and down. Okay, really shake your arms out because you've really used that now with those 3 sets that we've just done.
So someone on YouTube who is into fitness says that we inspire them to work out even more, and they do some of our workouts as well. And
awesome.
That's exactly what we're here for. We're not only here for sharing our journey with lipedema women, we're sharing our journey with everyone, because everybody can certainly use movement in their life and more movement. And when you see people who are constantly fighting to maintain their health or to improve their health, when you know the cards are stacked against them, it is inspiring to others to say, hell, if they can do it, I can do it, and I can keep going and I can go further. Because for those of you with normal bodies who don't have limitations, you can go as far as you'd like. You can go as far as you can take your body, and you can also keep improving and keep changing and keep finding new ways and new avenues for yourself. Like Karen is the pure example of how we can use fascia work to change our bodies, right? But also, like, people who are in a regular body that don't have those limitations, they can use those same kind of tools to bring out their own definition, right? It's not just for people who have limitations, or chronic illnesses like we do. So can you imagine if you were somebody who already has a 6-pack and then you fascia blasted your 6-pack, how much of those would come through? That would be like crazy good, right? She's shaking her head, yes.
Yeah, yes. Sorry, because I knew you were talking to the others. Yes, I totally agree. Fascia blasting is definitely for everybody. It was designed for cellulite. It wasn't designed for lipedema. It was, you know, if you look at Ashley's beginning story, then you'll see what it was all about. But it's helped many different ailments along the way, and I'm certainly using it to my advantage at the moment, alongside the lipedema. So, and not just that, the nerve pain, all sorts of things.
Did you happen to,
and especially for hypermobility and EDS. So,
did you happen to see the story that I put up the other day of the 67-year-old lady who, you know, is someone who is naturally thin? I mean, I'm sure she works at it and has worked at it her whole life, but, you know, she's naturally in a very slim body. She uses her, and she's a homemaker, and she uses her vacuum attachment to
do saw that
to do her cellulite.
Yeah, extremely dangerous.
And I thought, oh wow, how come I haven't seen all the lipedema ladies saying that they've tried this?
I've seen in the years of lipedema, I've seen some weird stuff go down with people using different homemade tools. I can't remember who she was. She was you know, like a paint.
Oh, paint roller.
No, it was a drill, and there was like a round piece on the end of the drill.
Yeah.
And I can't remember who the girl was, but she put the drill on, and then she'd literally do that on her legs. The round piece had like fur on it.
Yeah, like a car waxer.
Yeah. And she was doing that on her legs.
Yeah. I've seen people use especially for after surgery, which I happen to think is brilliant. They use the foam rollers, the foam paint rollers on the extended thing, you know, on, like if you're going to paint the wall.
Yeah.
To be able to reach their calves when they're after surgery.
Yeah.
To just roll it when they don't have any
when you need
to
you will find what you need to use.
Yeah,
like when you need to do it, when a person needs to find it, you'll find it.
Yeah, it's pretty brilliant. Yeah, so I thought that was pretty, you know, I thought that was pretty humorous and ingenious for her, because I imagine she's not in jeopardy of harming her lymphatics. I mean, maybe she is, I don't know. But she seemed to think that she sees a difference when she does it. So, which is sort of all, you know, if she has to do it each year when it's summer season, it just goes to prove to you that, you know, cellulite or perceived cellulite is a thing amongst everyone. You know?
Yeah.
And it doesn't just go away, you know, it's something that has to consistently be worked at. We're not the only people that have to consistently work at our fascia.
No.
So, you know, everybody in this community likes to think that we're so different than everybody else, and nobody has any similar, you know, concerns, or, you know, they shouldn't or whatever, but there's really not much of a difference in what people are concerned with.
No, everything, yeah. It's how everybody sees themselves. Like, it's their perception of themselves that causes that.
Correct. Well, and it's the perception. I don't want to sit down anymore. Do you know that there used to be a time I would have never been caught dead sitting in a chair? Anybody seeing me sit in a chair? That's amazing. Yeah, but that, you know, that is all the noise that we've heard forever, right?
Yeah.
you know, that's what we've been told, that's what we've been taught, that's what we've been, you know, um, yeah, always taught. Yeah. And, you know, it's not a thing in my life because I never used it or know any, and I don't know anything about it or how to use it even. But, you know, like people have been using Photoshop on their photos forever. And it's like, why? Like, why? You know, like
hang on a second. Hang on. Where's that conversation just come from?
Because like what we've been fed is not even real. So like if we've been fed that okay, everybody should be, you know, everybody should meet the height weight table, right?
Right.
And so then you go to a TV show, a commercial, a movie, a magazine, even the magazine in the doctor's office, you know, women's health or healthy living or whatever. And then you see the people that are represented. And so you think, oh, okay, that's the standard. Like that's what I'm supposed to be or achieve or whatever. But whatever you've been shown is not even real.
No.
Like, you know, like I forget who it used to be, but like one of the big, you know, models, they used to be, she doesn't even look like that. And I used to think, why do they say that? And then I was like, oh, right. You know, like, you know, or even me when I started this and I was gonna do my first photo shoot with one of my favorite photographers, and I was like, well, you know, my legs are, they're very covered in cellulite, and is there a way that you can like fix that at all? And he was like, what do you think I do all day? And I was like, what? Like, oh, you mean all those other women that you shoot, their legs don't naturally look like that? He's like, no. I was like, oh. And then, of course, when I finally shot with him, I'm like, no, you can't edit those. Like, no. They have to be shown normal so people can be like, this is what lipedema looks like.
Yeah.
You know, so we don't, and to go back to, you know, the whole statistic of, you know, at least in the United States, 70% of women are a size 16 or above. Nobody would ever know that. Nobody would ever believe it, but it is a fact. And there's no representation of that. But then there's, you know, so many differences within that size 16 of how that looks, right? But you're basically never seeing what that looks like because everybody's covered up. Everybody's covered up. So for specifically for lipedema and lymphedema, you're almost never seeing a woman who has lipedema or lymphedema because they're never showing the bottom half of their body.
No.
You know, like I said, like you would have never seen me sitting in a chair. Never. Maybe when Willem was a baby, you would have had Willem would have been on one leg and Charlie would have been on the other, and so then you wouldn't have seen that there was a spread or that I spilled over on the chair or whatever. But that would have been the only way, or I would have stood behind, like I would have been the person like this, so that you couldn't, so everything was obscured.
Yeah, I remember being that person years and years ago. In family photos and things, I'd be the one standing at the back. Or,
absolutely. Yeah, the shortest person with the head sticking out.
Yeah. In all honesty, I didn't like my picture being taken. So there's not a lot. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of photos. There's only a handful of photos that I can use from back then because I never really took any photos. I never really was in photos. I didn't like going to family functions. Like I make excuses and not want to go because I would. Unfortunately, I used to get ridiculed, so I just didn't see the point in going.
Yeah, luckily I was not that person. So I didn't care if you took my picture, but I was not going to be, I was not going to stand like this. I certainly was going to stand like this. And I was likely going to stand like this with like somebody in front of me and somebody behind me and maybe somebody.
No.
There's no.
There's a lot of work that I've done on myself mentally
Yes.
to get over that period of life, because there was a lot of bullying that was going on. So, that was a time, that was a very different version of Karen, and I feel sorry for her because she was bullied and damaged, and all I can say is it has made me the person, part of it has made me the person that I am today. And I am somebody who, I can't stand it when I see it. I'm very defensive of when I see somebody, especially in our community, being ridiculed or bullied. I had this conversation the other day where I was talking to some clients who have had issue with professionals, and I actually use the term abuse, and the way that I see it now is that it's actually abuse, that we don't get the right diagnosis or the right help.
Right.
Because if it wasn't, then we would, if you look at it in that way, if you look at it with me saying that, you wouldn't let somebody be abused. Do you know what I mean? Abuse is a huge word.
Well, if you were, you just brought up a really good point, is if you were a medical professional and you were upholding your Hippocratic oath, none of this would ever happen. Because
you wouldn't abuse someone, would you?
No,
I remember when I was younger being ridiculed by dietitians who would accuse me of cheating. I remember one woman literally sitting in front of me and saying to me, "You need to own up to yourself, Karen. You really do, because you're doing yourself no favours."
Right. Yeah.
And I've not just heard it about me, I've heard it about other people. And if you look at it from a term of what I'm actually saying, that was abuse. Because I walked out of there feeling like I was worthless. Mm-hmm. Like, she went home to her family and her children and her husband, I suspect, or whatever. But she went home not thinking about me, but I went home thinking about her. Right? And then that follows on to the next person. That follows on to the next person.
Right, you're not the only person that she's...
Yeah. Exactly. So by going through the whole story, my whole story, I've gone through, yes, I've had some professionals who have been bloody amazing, but I've had other professionals that I've had other people in the corner where it isn't. And unfortunately, we're seeing it more and more and more.
Yeah. Well, that's because people are. It's not because it's happening more. It's because people are talking about it more.
Yeah, but
it's been happening forever.
It's certainly something that needs to be addressed.
Yeah, when I was pregnant and I had to see a very specialized doctor, and he was phenomenal, and he got called to an emergency or something, and so somebody stepped in for him on a day that I had an appointment, and it was a woman, and she was from New York, and I only point that out because, New Yorkers can often be considered crass and whatever, but I knew she's a New Yorker, so I understand she's my people and whatever, she's not that way. And she asked, what was I eating? And I told her I had a half a cup of cottage cheese with a half a cup of blueberries for breakfast, and I had 7 almonds at 11, and I had lettuce with chicken for lunch, and I had a cheese stick at 4, and then I had a chicken and a vegetable for dinner. And she's like, there's no way that's... Oh, and I had a protein bar for my dessert at night.
Do you know what the sad thing is that you saying that, sent like that series of what you've just spoken about, what you're saying is absolutely patronising.
Oh, yeah.
to the person. You should not have to explain yourself like that
Well,
to
that's true.
anybody.
That's true. So when I told her, she's like, there's no possible way that's what you're eating. And I was like, yes, there is. Yes, there is. Because it's the only thing that I'm eating. And it's the only thing that I have been eating for 4 years. Like, I have already lost over 220 pounds. Like, yes, this is what I'm eating because I'm not jeopardizing any of that. And she's like,
No.
there's no way. You can't be remembering her correctly. And I know the 7 almonds was very particular because it was like it was a specific health thing. I forget why you were supposed to eat 7 almonds when you were pregnant, but there was a reason. And it wasn't 9, and it wasn't 8, and it wasn't 6. It was 7. Anyway, she was not having it because she was so stuck in her preconceived notion and her ignorance. So really, I mean, we could, based on this conversation, we could really cry, medical mispractice for every person who's ever treated us, really.
Yeah.
Because how did you not know about this thing that was since 1940? Why did you not know about that? If I had some rare disease, let's just go with the disease. If I had some rare disease,
like, you mean like Durkheim's?
Not Durkheim's, not any of the ones that we know, like something really, 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 really rare. Eventually, somebody would find that, right? Because they would be determined to find out, like, I'm not going to be a doctor and I'm not going to not help my patient. But no. in our case, because everything is always misdiagnosed, there's no reason to look any further. There's no reason to look any further. I mean, maybe on occasion somebody looks at thyroid and goes, oh, it's your thyroid. That's why you can't lose weight. And that's what it's always pushed onto. So, but yeah, it is actually, I haven't really thought about that. It is really a medical malpractice situation. Yeah. I think one of the next stages of awareness is to actually get in front of the medical students and bring the awareness there. Get on the grand rounds and that kind of thing. So we'll see how that goes. How received it is. There's a few places that I think you could start with, but we'll see.
Yeah, see what happens. At the end of the day, we've come way further than we've been in years.
For sure.
It's just, I think, stories.
It's just triggering to hear the same story. That's what.
Yeah, it triggers your own emotional story it triggers the emotions that you went through or you're going through in your own story. And there are certainly versions of me that I feel dreadfully sorry for that had to suffer the way that they did.
So Nita is saying something that's for sure true. And she's saying that every single one of these professionals needs a letter regarding this experience, and the lipedema documents attached. And so
we have this.
And so she's right. I personally don't. It's funny because I looked for my fabulous doctor the other day and couldn't find him. One of our lipedema women is in the same field, in very specialized maternal and health. And so she was asking me who the doctor was, and I couldn't exactly remember his name, and we looked, we were searching for him and we couldn't find him. So I think he's now not practicing anymore. My son is, 15, so it's entirely possible that 16 years ago he's not still in practice, or is on to something else, or is not in this area. So there's no way I would know who that doctor was that was there. But I have often thought of that I should go in to see him, and because he's also the doctor that made me stop working out in the gym after 6 months and made me go into pool exercise, and specifically said that this will keep you from swelling. So he knew that connection. I often wonder, did he actually know that there was a thing called lipedema? I don't know. I imagine he was the kind of guy who probably knew. And maybe he didn't tell me because he's like, this woman is already like pregnant with a new baby, and why do we need to saddle her with anything more? You know, don't know. Um, but yeah, and I don't know if you know who that person was that you had as the nutritionist, if they're still in practice or not. But that's true. That is true. I did think about doing a mail campaign to any person who's ever been a practitioner of mine, anywhere for anything, and that's a lot of people. So just that alone would be an incredible reach out. Um, and then one of our other followers is asking, what do we do? Wait a minute.
Yeah, I've seen it.
How do we, what do we say to encourage other women to free themselves from that fear of being seen as they are? So, what I like to do is I like to ask them because that's, you have to start at consideration, because many people can't even consider it. Consider the idea that you could think differently about yourself. And I think one of the ways for many women in general, actually, is if you actually took a picture of yourself, like right now on Instagram, if I am like this without my, it's not, most of my body is not being seen. You don't see my head, you just see my, from here to here. If you saw that person walking down the street, what would you actually think of them? If you took you out of the equation. So I've had this situation a couple of times over the past few weeks where we have one lipedema sister who has had weight loss surgery, she's had lipedema surgery, she's had other surgeries. She's probably now, I think she's smaller than this, but I'm gonna go with, she's like a size 6 or a size 4, maybe. Looking at her body now, you would never in a million years dream that she looked any other way, because either her skin has retracted or she's had skin removal as well. I can't remember. In any case, she put up in her stories the other day that she had the widest hips in the world. And so, of course, I had to send her a message and go say, I beg to differ with you. I think I have you beat. And so, what was she going to say? What was she going to, and she's like, well, I guess you called me on that one. I go, yeah, of course I did, because you have to realize what you're saying. You have to ask yourself, is this true? And what are the facts that I have to prove that? So even if it was your beloved aunt telling you, oh, mija, your cheeks are so fat. Well, what proof was that true? Is it still, more importantly, is it still true? And what proof is there? Was that her impression? Because she thought that, I don't know who's somebody with really high thin cheeks, she thought that whoever it was the ideal, and maybe you were not that. Like, well, who is the authority that is giving you this information? And can their information be questioned? Is it just opinion, or is it actually a fact? I think that is really, really a great way to start to question what you're hearing or what you've been told or what you're telling yourself, and then also to try and look at yourself as an outsider, and in a way to also compare yourself. So like the size 6 girl, any size 6 girl, any size 4 girl, any size 16 girl, any size 22 girl, any size 26 girl who's walking around going, I have the biggest hips. Well, no, you fucking don't. There's somebody else in the world who has bigger hips than you do. I can guarantee that. I can guarantee it. So get over yourself, or I have the thickest thighs. Yeah, no, I don't. I mean, I can say that about myself. Oh my God, my thighs are so thick. Well, guess what? They used to be thicker. I mean, so.
Something just happens now. You went quiet.
Oh, you know what? Oh, now is it? Am I back?
Yeah.
Oh. Well. Oh well. I don't know when did I go? What was I saying?
Only for a minute.
What was I saying?
You were talking about all the different sizes.
Yeah, so I have been all different sizes. So I can no longer say I have the biggest thighs. I can't, because I know that I used to have bigger thighs. So you have to challenge yourself, is what you're thinking true? And then I think the other thing is that, because I think that there are many people who do try to work on themselves, and the people who do try and work on themselves, I think that they do have to remember their progress. So like Karen was saying before, is like she used to be the person who was negative toward herself and didn't like to go places because of that, and what she bought into, that people were telling her, and now she has, over the years done work.
But what I find with that is, and this is what gets me, is what we're telling ourselves. If we're telling ourselves that we're going to walk out the house and somebody's going to say something about us, it's going to happen, because you're basically attracting it into your life. So if you're walking out the house with a positive that you're not going to be spoken about and that you're not going to be ridiculed, you're going to see life in a completely different way. And that's when the change occurs, because you realise that actually society isn't having a go at us. Society isn't against us. It is what's going on is what's going on up here. We're against ourselves.
Okay, and then that is a whole nother mouthful, and that is the other thing, is that you have to remember that anything that anybody says that about you, that they bring it to you, is not about you. It has nothing to do with you. It has to do all about them. It has to do all about them and their perception. And what in most cases, what they're lacking is what they're bringing forward to you. And oftentimes there's projection involved as well. So,
yeah, that's the problem. So if you are at home, you're getting ready to go out, and you're getting ready, you're getting dressed, and you're looking in the mirror, and you hate what you're wearing, and you hate yourself, and you're not happy or comfortable with what you're looking like, and you go out the door thinking that everyone's going to stare at you, everyone's going to do this, everyone's going to do that, that is what's going to happen, because you've already set your intention. Right. The intention is already out. Right. And so that is unfortunately how it works. If you walk out the house dressed up, saying to yourself that actually nothing's going to happen, no one's going to have a go at me, no one's going to stare in my direction, you will see a completely different side. This is how I teach my clients. Every single one of them has changed the way that they see themselves through changing how they see themselves before a situation, and that is how it changes. I'm even at the top of the list of things for that. When my anxiety can be here, I can tell myself, no, this is going to happen, that's going to, and now, because I journal it, I see those things actually happen. It's very clever how you can manifest it straight into your existence straight into your life.
The good news is that you can manifest the good stuff
obviously
as
the
well.
damning illness that most of us have probably been brought up with throughout all of these illnesses, and that is body dysmorphia. We are our biggest critics. We are our biggest critics, and we are our biggest bullies. Every single one of us will bully ourselves. And body dysmorphia is a real thing. I was 26 stone, and I still, to this day, if I have a bad day, if I look in the mirror, I can still see it. Yeah. It doesn't go away, because what you've gone through has taught you to see yourself in a different way, but sometimes the demon can just rear its ugly head, especially over the last few months where I thought I was getting worse. I thought my mobility was getting worse, lipedema was getting worse, everything was getting worse. And guess what? The more I kept telling myself it was getting worse, I was getting worse. And then I found a key, and that key has unlocked something that I did back a few years ago, and now there's a massive change, and not just for me, for a lot of other people. And so that is something that I'm bringing to the table in a very big way now. So it's once you figure out the game changers are there to change your life, but it does start up here, and that's it. And that's where it's the biggest task, to try and get people to start here rather than what they're seeing. And within this illness, because of the degree of how this illness affects people, it affects people in different ways, in different stages, and I strongly believe in different strains of the illness.
Yes.
I strongly believe that a lot of people have a very different strain, a harder, stronger, more progressive strain than others.
True.
But until the research is there to prove that theory, then it's just hearsay. But I totally believe that there is something else going on within that spectrum of illness.
Right. But the other thing that you said about the body dysmorphia, and what adds to that for sure, is the fact that when you have lipedema, and certainly if you have lymphedema as well, you weigh heavier.
Yeah.
So just because we've always been taught by the medical community to look at those numbers, right? You've never been a normal number. You know what I'm saying?
And I think you've got to be very careful with this, because I, for one, don't own scales at all, because I think they are the devil. I don't agree with them. There's no reason for me to have them in the house. They will cause me to have anxiety. They would cause me to upset myself for no reason. And I think you've got to be of a very strong mind to be able to keep weighing yourself and not criticizing yourself. And there's a whole bunch in the community of women that I know who thankfully have now thrown the scales out. When I see that happen, it's a fantastic day, because you shouldn't be defined by that number. That number is going to go up and down. Forget lipedema. That number's going to go up and down with other illnesses, or can go up and down with your hormones, or go up and down with your monthly, or go up and down with your emotions. Let's get that right. Like, if we get upset, if we start crying, your cortisol level goes up. Do you know what happens when your cortisol level goes up? Your body starts to inflame. Take the lipedema out, you're still inflamed, so you can still put on a couple of pounds.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. No, absolutely. I am seeing today a brain doctor for, we'll see, a new piece of the puzzle. And I am contemplating for the first time not allowing them to weigh me. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. We'll see if it flies or not.
I never let them weigh me, so.
I imagine it's not going to fly.
It probably won't.
But we'll see.
But I'm very adamant about it.
I can't imagine within this.
Is this the supplement doctor that you're seeing today?
No. No. This is the appointment I've been waiting for 6 months for. So.
The hormone one?
Correct.
Right. Well, that's fantastic news. That's exciting.
Yeah, so we'll see what. I can't imagine that within that.
The fact that it's hormones, I suspect you're going to have to be weighed.
That's what I'm saying. I can't imagine within this specialty they're going to
I
allow
can't
that.
imagine,
Yeah, but if
yeah,
I can
no.
say this is what I weighed yesterday, I went on the scale yesterday for my once a week weigh in, and so I think you should be able to take that. I don't care what your scale says. I'll tell you next time when I come. So we'll see. I mean, if they have to have it, we'll see. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm going to try it. Why not?
What time's your appointment?
I have to advocate for myself, right? That's what we all have to do.
What time's your appointment?
2:00.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, should be interesting. I sent
It's 11 now,
sent
isn't it?
the lipedema information. I sent all of my lab work. I think I sent 2 reports from Dr. Herbst last year. So we'll see. We'll see if they reviewed any of it.
Yeah, see what happens. See what happens.
It should be.
But it is 7:10, so
Yes.
I am going to love and leave you because I am in work early tomorrow. And again, it is an extremely busy week for lipedema. So.
Okay. Bye for now.
Take care.
See ya. Thanks for the good workout.
Oh, it was amazing. Take
That's
care.
good.
Lots of love. Phone me after.
Okay. Bye-bye. See ya. See ya. Thanks for joining. Hope you found it helpful. Bye for now.